Hey guys, Farmer Jesse here. Today, I kind of thought I would show you around the farm, give you a little update. We did one of these, little farm tours back in April, but I wanted to give you another one here in June and show you how much, things have changed, some of the projects we have going on, and those sorts of things. So it's kind of a beautiful morning, kind of foggy, really nice and cool. So I thought it'd be a good day to show you around. So let's do it. All right, so right behind me, all of this was basically dirt in the last video, which that's not gonna happen next year. We're not gonna have nearly as much open, bare dirt next year because we're going 100% no-till, within the next year. It's gonna be a transition period, but we're getting there. In so doing, we're never gonna have we're never just gonna have soil. It's always gonna be covered. In theory, it would be covered all year round, which may take a little while to get to that point. This is one plot that's kind of an experiment here, which is these two beds that you can see, I actually took those out of spinach production and within 2 hours had corn planted. And then there's also ginger in there, which is really hard to see, but that's what all this is. Because I didn't have enough corn. I thought I had enough corn, but I had enough space to finish it out with ginger, so that actually worked out perfectly. Everything's doing really well. Here's the ever bed that we talked about. Which one am I pointing at? That one right there. That has the Salanova in the middle. It's kind of hard to see on the video. You'll remember that from the last video. I'll put a little card up there. Then the fennel we're starting to give this week in our CSA. Then that's all going really well. Let's see what we got down here. The hedgerows are doing pretty well, although we still haven't got mulch for them, so they're a little bit hedgier than I'd intended. Here's our little cucurbit section. We've got squash starting to come on really well. Pole beans kind of in the middle of these two. Zucchini just hasn't started flowering yet, but is getting ready to. And got all the melons planted out. Got some cover crops in there. I'm not going to do a lot of cover cropping in our no-till system. So that's this one over here, if you can see that. I know the sun is kind of right there. Okay, so that's Sudan grass and that's buckwheat. What I'm gonna do with these is I'm gonna mow them down and I'm gonna cover them with landscape fabric. And the idea there is that this plot is really moist. It doesn't drain very well, so I really wanna build the organic matter. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna cover it so that it doesn't burn up due to exposure. And I'm gonna let the melons grow over top of it, and then we're gonna pull it off and maybe do it again. I may do a few rounds of cover crops in this plot just to get that organic matter up and also compost it. So I wanna do a lot of getting a lot of carbon into this soil. The Sudan grass is gonna do a better job than the buckwheat of doing carbon, but I wanted to see which one. I just kind of wanted to compare the two, and I have buckwheat seed, so I thought I'd go for it. Over here we've got, you can see some of we actually have a little bit of erosion, which is one of the reasons that is dirt that went over top of the remay. So erosion is one of the big reasons that I want to go no-till, to have the ground covered at all times. You notice that the grass never erodes, and there's a reason. It has all that root mass in there. And that's what I want for our gardens, is to just never have so much dirt so that it can actually cause any sort of erosion. The peas are doing really well. These here, cabbage and broccoli are coming along. Greenhouse, let's go check out the greenhouse. All right, so behind me we have the greenhouse. It's got a few things going on in here, some cilantro and dill and fennel. We've also got some late tomatoes that are getting ready to go in. There's some lettuce starts there, some lettuce starts over here. Let's see what else we have. A bunch of lettuce here, some micros in there. I have this whole thing covered with remay, with just crappy remay. We throw that over top because, I'm not going to spend money on shade cloth when I have all this remay that I can't really use anyway. So I just throw the remay over top, and that adds about, my guess is between the plastic and the remay, I get about 10% shade. So that's good enough for me. Let's go see what the sheep are up to. Almost forgot about this plot. This is an important one. This is our field tomatoes. It's actually all nightshades. So this whole plot is almost exclusively nightshades, or it will almost exclusively be nightshades. So tomatoes and peppers. There's eggplant under that remay there. Some of it's uncovered because it's starting to flower. Then yeah, more tomatoes. Got paste tomatoes over here. Under this is just getting ready for more. Those are where our late tomatoes are going. Usually I wouldn't put them so close, but we don't have any blight issues yet, so I'm just gonna go for it. Yeah, the sheepies are down here somewhere. There they are. Let's go say hi. Here's our sheep. We did that rotational grazing video, so you can watch that if you want. If I remember, I'll put up a card of that one too. You guys want to move? We should move them. Let's move them. Sheep, sheep. Beep, beep, beep. Sheep, 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 sheep.
Waddle, waddle.
Sheep, 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 beep, beep. Beeps. You're getting horns. They're happy now. That's fun. I'll come back and move their fence later. So it rained like crazy the other day, yesterday, day before. Last 2 days we got something like 3.5 inches in 24 hours, which is just a lot. So when I mentioned erosion earlier, that's the kind of stuff that you really have to be prepared for. So that's why I want to get wood chips in the pads, and I want to get all the beds. Like you see all this dirt here in this nightshade section. I want all of that dirt covered with plants. I want, lettuce plants and all that sort of stuff underneath there. They still need airflow, but all that dirt has to be covered with roots so that the roots can keep the soil in place. And I want mulch over top of it when the lettuce comes out. Let's stop real quick and go through the tunnels a little bit. Really happy with the tunnels this year. They've done really well. These are our tomatoes. This is just a caterpillar tunnel from Farmer's Friend. We've got peppers like right here, and then we've got some peppers on the other side, directly opposite on the outside. Those are our Carmen. Those are kind of our babies, so I want those to get as much sunlight as possible. And then, yeah, and then we've got the large tomatoes in here. This is our cucurbit tunnel. They've, 2 towers, just starting to lower and lean these. You can see right there how that's kind of leaning, just starting to lower and lean these a little bit. They've got nice big cucumbers on them. I need to harvest them. Out there you can see the nasturtiums are still taking over, and then under this crop, under this row cover is those are that's like a succession of cucumbers. So that's actually going to be the lemon cucumbers. I don't know how they're going to do in a high tunnel situation, but I don't have it closed off, so pollinators can get to it. It shouldn't be an issue. This one is exciting. This is our cherry tomato tunnel, and just now getting our first ripe cherry tomatoes. That is so good. That's doing really well. We've got way too many borage flowers, but they're doing really well. Basil right there. See some of that. So that's all good, fun stuff. Let's go check out some of the other things going on. That freaked me out. I forgot we just moved them, and the sheep are right up against the tomato plot right there. That's them. I thought they were out. I got a pretty short memory. All right, so we're coming up here. This is the potato plot. I think that was mainly just dirt in the last video. It's definitely not dirt anymore. These are pretty much ready to start harvesting new potatoes off of. And yeah, they're doing pretty well. We've got a couple blank spots, but for the most part, I feel pretty good about that patch. Sweet potatoes just went in. So these are parsnips, this like kind of green mass here. These are the sweet potatoes, and we really need to figure out a system to do a more no-till system with the sweet potatoes. We'll have one by next year, but right now it's just kind of a mess. In between the sweet potatoes is a really nice weedy patch of carrots. Those will be starting to come out this week if you're in our CSA. Those carrots are on their way. Corn, sweet corn here. I don't know. I love sweet corn. I love eating sweet corn. I don't mind growing it, but it takes up a lot of room and nutrients. So onion patch did okay this year. There's quite a bit of blank that the Walla Wallas didn't do very well. All of our other onions seem fine. Garlic is killing it. Garlic is fine. We're gonna flip that into winter squash here shortly. Let me think, what else do I need to show you guys? So one thing about this season is we've had really good help. Our interns are really want to be successful farmers. So they've been very much into it. Adam and Amanda, they're great. At some point, maybe I can do a video with them and show and introduce you guys, because they're gonna move on at the end of the year and go up back home into Indiana. So if you're in the Indiana area, they'll be an awesome farm to support. So we'll keep you updated on that. I'm excited about this little patch too. This is this right here is our sunchokes with some sunflowers planted in the middle, because why not? But yeah, sunchokes. I'm always excited about sunchokes. And I forgot to show you like our strawberry patch down there. It's going to be pretty intense. We're going to grow that quite a bit. It's going to take up nearly a whole plot by next year. So we're going to do a lot of strawberries in coming years. I'd be remiss if I didn't show you Wendell. Check in a little bit on our worm situation here. I put in a bunch of green matter from the spinach. So I cut out all that spinach in that little clip I showed you earlier. And then I put a lot of that green matter into all of our worm bins. This one had ants. I don't really care what's in the worm bin, to be honest with you. As long as the stuff breaks down, yeah, it still has a bunch of ants, but there they are. There's some wormies. Can you see those? There's some wormies. So yeah, that's good. That's going pretty well. I really want to grow our worm farm situation. We have 2 in here, and then we have 2 in our greenhouse. Let's go check on some other things. So when I said we had amazing interns, this is part of it. This is actually our salad spinner that our intern Adam made. So we put the salad mix in there, spin it dry, and we're actually working on a second one. So Adam and I have kind of been plotting a second spinner, so that'll be cool. The board is still going strong, got some prices and all that stuff, and then got, you know, our plan for the week, although I haven't updated it for next week. I got some lettuce germinating, not quite germinating yet. Should be soon. I want to show you one last thing. This is actually a compost pile that we made out of, we're in the process of, a mixture of hay and, what else is in there? Hay and all of our food scraps and a little bit of duck manure and those sorts of things. So we have it, we took it through the whole composting process, and it's just kind of hanging out and breaking down. And we've got, you can kind of see it's steaming a little bit. So yeah, this is fun. We can only make so much of our own compost, but I do want to make more of our own compost. I think that's it's a good practice, and it's really, you know, we can kind of control what biology goes in here, you know, a little bit to an extent, and like what the ratios are like. So this one will be a little bit more carbon heavy, more 40:1, whereas, you know, a lot of our compost is maybe more nitrogen heavy, so that we can do like just a light covering of it for, you know, quick greens and that sort of thing. But anyway, I mean, that's kind of what we have going on at the moment, guys. So let us know if you have any questions about anything I showed you. Hit us up in the comments. Make sure to like this video if you like this video, and hit that little subscribe bobble. Whenever it pops up, just make sure to click on that little subscribe bobble. And otherwise, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye.